Okay, so what we plan on doing today is we want to work on the way of going. So we're asking the riders to find the way of going that they want to the fence, away from the fence, and then just quite simply keeping a rhythm to the fence. So they put the correct canter into the horse for the obstacle in hand, away from the fence, and then really their job then is to provide the line and sit in balance, and that gives the horse then the manoeuvrability in front of the fence if it needs to alter. But if we haven't got the correct way of going, it means then when the rider gets to the fence, they've normally got to take over and make the adjustments. And then the next thing we're trying to achieve today is to motivate the hind leg, to provoke the hind leg, and get the hind leg taken around a step, so that when they come to the fences, they push more like a weightlifter lifting rather than like a racehorse going flat across the fence. Around the corner, and then the stride comes. Then if we sit in balance, we've provided the correct way of going and we provide the line, we have then given the horse the tools in the box to be maneuverable if he needs to shorten or lengthen a little bit. And then also if we need to make adjustments, they're only minor adjustments. But if we haven't got the correct canter for the obstacle in hand away from the fence, then when we get to the fence, we then have to take over and get ourselves a little bit out of a hole. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Now, just with it, there are times when it is wrong, and then you've got to react on that. So I'm always very conscious that in training we try to train. If you want perfection, you've got to train perfectly. Does that make sense? It's no good, people to say, oh yeah, work hard, train hard, and all the rest of it. But if you want perfection, perfection only comes if you train perfectly. So you want perfect perfection. Does that make sense? So here, when you're coming round to this, out here, really get it as perfect as you can. Okay, let's come back.
Picture a group at this level, and I'll just opt out if
what we'll do is we'll have if we need to, we'll make it quite bespoke to do a bit more easy and get the road back. What I'd like to do is obviously finish your warming up off, and then I'd like to canter down these poles. It's 5 strides down these poles, but I would like to come down warming up, come down there on quiet 6. When you're coming down, to get you quiet 6, and this is the sort of key for today. You come down there on 6 strides, for argument's sake, we'll call that a 9-mile-an-hour canter, so it's just a nice quiet canter. Right, I want you way back there and way back there when you're coming down to have the correct way of going to get down there on 6. So theoretically, if you put the correct canter into them, let's call it a 9-mile-an-hour collective canter, then all you've got to do is all the way to the pole, stay at 9 miles an hour, stay at 9 miles an hour, stay at 9 miles an hour. I don't want you coming round slow, and then accelerating, and then slowing. Just want you to keep that rhythm the same. I would rather to start off with you put 7 in there than chase for 6. But the same deal, don't let them land, or only if it's 3 inches off the ground. Don't let them then run to the next ones. They might be a bit fresh, and you might have to do a bit of work. Okay, we're going to pick his fence up, and it would, just keep going. When it learns really how to push in the correct way. But with all that power and all that energy and all that ability, when you get to a championships, it's character that takes over.
Yeah.
And what you've got here is a group of horses that are just sweet.
Yeah.
And they will be the ones that come out, and the fence will be that high and they'll jump that high, the fence will go that high and they'll jump that high, the fence will be that high and they'll go that high, but they'll keep going. Whereas Tom's one will jump the fence that high and jump it that high, but then the next time get tense and have it down. Are you with me? Now I know I'm being a bit hard, Tom, but but what you've got here, these horses have got fantastic brains.
Yeah, this is what the best brain out of any horse I've ever
I mean really good brains. Okay, should we go? They've not done the run this way, so down here. Again, have a bit of a shock of this. Yeah. When you then came in and jumped that properly, because they had the correct way of going, they came to this and they could shorten the length very, very easily. But if you corrected over that, you took the way of going away from them, so then you would force them to have to ride like Billy to get them. But then if you look there, okay, your horse was a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But even that last one on the outside line, because you kept coming to that, it jumped out really nicely.
Yeah.
Your horse, Tom, then, twice you came forward and over that and jumped at the correct way of going. One time you had to lengthen there, but it did it brilliantly. The next time it had to back himself up, but it did it brilliantly. But you gave the horse the tools in the box. And then exactly the same here, Claire. When you came round over that,
You know, you said to me at the very beginning and a number of times, I want to go backwards round the corners. You dared the horse, you dared it there, the horse kept moving itself. You gave me the feeling that you could put your hands on your head, and as long as you looked, it was going to go and jump that fence line.
Yeah, well, actually made the fight quite easy.
Absolutely easy, very easy. Yeah. And it had to back himself up. And exactly the same here. And right from the beginning, in fact, I was on the point of saying, I was about to say, you're going to have to slow down a bit next time, but then you slowed yourself down. Okay, really good.
So what we've achieved today is the riders riding, putting the correct way of going into the horse. So, and then that meant that with the correct way of going with the horse then is in self-carriage, so they've been able to come to the fences, maintaining that rhythm, and then when the horses have got there, they've had that manoeuvrability to jump the fence where they needed to shorten or lengthen. That's worked really, really well. And we've done some very good exercises to get the hind leg motivated. We provoke the hind leg a bit, so when the riders then come to the fence, they feel that the horses are weightlifting on the way down to the fence, so then that equals a really good jump. But most importantly, if the horses are in the correct way of going, that means they're in balance, so when the horses land, they don't run away from the fence, the riders can actually ride them away from the fence. Okay?